On December 9th, 2020, Biden's son, Hunter Biden, confirmed that he was under a tax investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware. As a result, the Hunter Biden hard drive scandal that was temporarily suppressed during the run-up to the election has resurfaced. This investigation was launched due to suspicious activity reports regarding suspicious foreign transactions from China and other countries.
Turns out that whole time, it was actually the Biden family who was enriching themselves.
December 9th, 2020, U.S. Senate committees released a bombshell report revealing alarming corruption in foreign business ventures involving former Vice President Joe Biden's son, Hunter. U.S. Senators Chuck Grassley, chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, and Ron Johnson, chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, released the near 90-page report titled Hunter Biden, Burisma, and Corruption, the Impact on U.S. Government Policy and Related Concerns. The report said, quote, "The Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs and the Senate Committee on Finance undertook this investigation into potential conflicts of interest and the involvement of the Biden family in foreign business ventures while Joe Biden was vice president. The committees found, quote, consistent, significant, and extensive financial connections among Biden family members and the Chinese Communist government." It states, quote, "Hunter Biden and Devon Archer engaged in numerous financial transactions with Chinese nationals who had deep connections to the Communist Chinese government." It continues, quote, "These Chinese nationals included Ye Jianming, founder of the CEFC China Energy Co., Ltd., and chairman of the board for its subsidiary, the China Energy Fund Committee." The report continues, stating, "Thus, there exists a vast web of corporate connections and financial transactions between and among the Biden family and Chinese nationals." It states, "Hunter Biden has extensive connections to Chinese businesses and Chinese foreign nationals that are linked to the communist governments. These contacts bore financial fruit when his father was vice president and after he left office." The report warned that the investigation found the Obama administration knew about and ignored Biden's problematic position on the board.
Well, clearly, I think China believes that they have a much better relationship with a potential President Joe Biden. That's clearly, portrayed when you look at the immense amount of money that they funneled through to Hunter Biden. But that goes without saying, because the challenge they've had with President Trump has been the fact that he's been pressuring them on almost all fronts, whether it be trade or finance or immigration or theft of intellectual property. He's basically unleashed the federal government to go after the Chinese Communist Party. Now, this has been completely opposite to the approach taken by all the former presidents since Kissinger, and certainly was counter to what I witnessed with the Obama administration, where Joe Biden was the vice president. So I think their clear incentive here is to reset the relationship between the U.S. and China in a way that promotes the Chinese Communist Party's interests.
On December 9th, 2020, YouTube announced, "We will start removing any piece of content uploaded today or any time after that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors changed the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election." Also on December 9th, 2020, Mark Sarin outlined on social media how Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg donated hundreds of millions of dollars to the Center for Tech and Civic Life right before the election.
What he did was, on September 2nd, Mark Zuckerberg, at the time he announced he was contributing $300 million. We think it's up to $500 million since then. He announced another $100 million weeks later to CTCL, the top 21 recipients of Zuckerberg grant money, which totaled $80 million, all went to Democrat-run cities where Hillary Clinton won by a large margin, in swing states primarily.
Well, I have a number of concerns when it comes to big tech. Twitter, for example, Twitter has been posting warning signs and, signs saying, you can't trust this content. There literally was a post a few days ago by by President Trump referring to some of my work and to an appearance I made on a television show, the Tucker Carlson show. So Trump posted a link to that interview with me, and Twitter then attached a warning sign saying, the claims made here are fraudulent. So we have a number of problems here. We have multiple tech companies basically doing whatever they want to shift opinions however they please. That's the status quo right now. So following the election, their campaign, I guess we can call it a campaign, which is ironic, their campaign to control public opinion has not stopped. If anything, it's gotten worse.
The Trump phenomenon is what driving this whole thing. I think the media felt he was going to lose and lose badly. The polls were showing that he was going to lose and lose badly. So I think the assumption was on election night, they were going to interpret whatever news there was in that light, that the light was that Joe Biden was going to win. But this has been going on for 4 years.
One of the leaks from Google last year was of a computer application at Google, which is called Twiddler. And Twiddler is a system Google developed for re-ranking search results. I was told by the whistleblower who actually brought that manual out of the company, Zach Voorhees, I was told that if Google wanted to turn off the bias in search results that might favor one political candidate, for example, they could do so, he said, like flipping a switch. It's that easy. We also found what appears to be a smoking gun. We found a period of days before the election when the vote reminder on Google's homepage was going only to liberals. Not one of our conservative field agents got a vote reminder on those days.
The mainstream media in this country now is operating very much like the media used to operate in the Soviet Union or operates in communist China.
China has plenty of motivation to oppose the re-election of Donald Trump. In Donald Trump, you have the first American president in 50 years to stand up and defend American interests, defend American alliances, and defend American friends from Chinese predations.